Is she a certified teacher? No, no, she's not a certified teacher. Well, I'm sure she must be. She has taken a couple of classes, sign language classes, you know, at the community college, and she interprets every week at her church. Does that make her certified? Oh, she's really very good. The deaf people at her church think she's wonderful. Maybe she just learned more quickly than most interpreters. I'm sure that's not the problem. She's very good. We all feel that she's very good. I'm wondering, I have heard that deaf people often have trouble academically. Has your son always had trouble academically? Well, if you're angry, I'm not sure I should tell you her name. Have you ever met her? Her name is Beth. I don't remember her last name. What's her last name?
Wow.
Beth Brown. Well, now Beth has been with our system for several years, and no other parent ever complained. All of those children made A's and B's. So I'm really wondering if maybe some of this is not Earl's problem. Maybe he does not pay attention in class. No, your child is not the first deaf student we've had. We get the kids from the elementary school. We've had We've had several, 3 or 4 deaf students come through over the years. Now, you're the first deaf parent we've had, but we've had few deaf children come through the middle school before. Do you think it makes a difference if a student has deaf parents or hearing parents? Well, now, we advertised in the paper, and she was the interpreter that responded to the advertisement. We called her references, and the people at the church liked her just fine. What if I can't find one? Well, you know, I only have so much money that I can spend here. We just have a budget. And, you know, I know your son's important to you, but I have 500 other students in this school, and we can't spend all of our money on an interpreter. How much would I have to pay for an A-certified interpreter? Well, what would happen if I had 4 or 5 students that showed up that were deaf and they all needed an interpreter? I could never be able to afford interpreters for all those children. Well, I think he probably has equal access. He has the same teacher. He has a certified teacher, and everybody else in that room seems to do fine. You know, the fact is, he's handicapped, and I guess he'll just have to work a little harder. Well, now, I don't think it'll be necessary to complain. I think we might be able to find the money for an interpreter. But what will I do with Beth? Well, that's a good idea. We'll just let Beth take some classes. She can keep on interpreting for Earl, and she can go take some classes at night. How many classes do you have to take to be certified? She could probably be certified before he finishes middle school. Fitzpatrick.
That's what you were saying. You asked somebody's name just a while ago.
Beats me. Well, how do you think I should go about getting a certified interpreter? Okay, I can call them and see. Do you think advertising in the newspaper would be a good idea? Just call the division, huh? Do you know that telephone number? Are they all deaf over there? So the director doesn't have a telephone if he's deaf, right? Relay. I've never heard of that. What's relay? I've never noticed that. Okay, well, I'm glad that you came in and we could have this little talk. And I will certainly call the Division of Services for Deaf and Hard of Hearing and see what they know about certified interpreters and see if they could recommend someone that might be more appropriate for your son Earl. We certainly want him to be successful here, and so we want to do everything that we can do to make him successful. Well, we'd certainly be happy for him to play on the team. And yes, if you want to get him an interpreter, that would be fine. We would let an interpreter come and interpret for him at practice. If you wanted, you just go ahead and find one and tell the coach that you have an interpreter. That'll be fine. Oh, no, 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 no. We're happy to pay for an interpreter for academic classes. But we don't pay an interpreter for after school. Those extracurricular things, we don't hire interpreters for that. Our interpreters are finished at 3:30, so we would not have anybody after school. But you could do that. If you wanted to pay for an interpreter to come and interpret for the football game or the practice, I think that would be fine. Well, I don't think you can just move him to another school in the county. You see, we'd have to have an APC meeting, and the committee would have to decide what was the most appropriate placement, and then we'd have to make a decision about his IEP. It's not a matter of just moving him to another school. APC, that's an academic placement committee. Oh, we have equal access. Everybody can try out, and so that's equal access. We let everybody try out. I thought you said he was really good. Well, doesn't he speech read? Your brother was married last week? Well, it was close. Oh, but you see, that's what I'm telling you. You don't have the right to take him to another school. That won't be your choice. That will have to be an APC decision. Why did you move him from the school for the deaf anyway? Maybe that's the best place for him. Maybe the school for the deaf would send somebody to interpret for him at football practice. Do they do that? What's a TDD? I don't have one of those, you know. So how am I going to call you? Maybe I could just talk really loudly on the phone. Well, we'll see what we can do about that, see if we can provide some training. You know of any interpreters? Do you know the names of any? Well, if we interview some interpreters, do you want to be involved in the interview? Well, aren't they all pretty much the same? Well, if we go to all this trouble, I certainly hope that we have a winning season. Will they pay for the interpreter? Well, what if we don't have any money? Are you sure that Equal Access covers after-school activities?